Okay, so for this video I'm going to show you how I'm going to paint certain models. For this video I'm going to paint models from Dark Souls the Boardgame. Here's the Asylum Demon, Dragon Slayer Ornstein, Executioner Smog, Silver Knight Greatbow, Hollow Soldier and Hollow Crossbowman. These I'm going to paint. First I'm going to make them black. As you notice with the Asylum Demon, he's already partially black, but I messed him up a little bit, so I'm going to do it over. Make sure that you get all this. Normally I would get a mask on my face, but I forgot it. To make sure that you don't intoxicate yourself, because this is nasty and dangerous stuff that I'm spraying. Normally I would do it outside, or at least I would do the door open. So that's better. Now watch. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna turn you. Again. If the spray can is empty, for this instance Citadel Chaos Black, if it is empty, just pick a brush and use normal regular black. Doesn't affect at all. You may see a little bit difference in the black, but for the other parts it's not really that much of an issue. Right, now turn them all around, the ones that you already sprayed. Make sure that you don't use your entire hand, just use a little bit of your finger to twist them. Right, now you continue. And if you're lucky, you already got everything. If not, then you just wait until they dry a little bit. Then you place them downwards, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna put you on pause right now, so the next screen will jump right towards the place when they're dry. Okay, welcome back. From now, we're going, as you can see, I placed them all face down, like this. And now we can start spraying all the places we haven't touched yet, like this. make sure you don't forget any place. If you do forget something, that doesn't really matter. You can always use your brush to add some extra details from black. If you don't forget anything, well, that's better. But if you do forget something, don't be too harsh on yourself. It could always happen. Twist them around one more time. If you get something on your hand, don't worry. You can remove it with turpentine. As you can see, this area is not really that good sprayed. Here you can see a little bit more color from the color that I tried to do on the Asylum Demon, which failed. Make sure you don't spray too much, or you might ruin certain aspects. If you do manage to ruin it, don't be afraid. You can always adjust it with a brush if you have it at hand, or else you have to use your finger just like I did. Alright, well, that's enough for the spraying. Now I'm gonna let it dry for now, and I'll be back with another video as soon as they are dried, and I'll start with making the first adjustments. For this video I'm going to try and finish the Silver Knights. No wait, I'm gonna do the hollows first, the crossbowmen and the soldiers. After that I'll make another video with the Silver Knights, and after that I'll do the Asylum Demon and the Golden Boys, as the Dark players like to call it. The Dark Souls players. You know, Onzin and Schmark. But that's all for this video. The next video I will add immediately, so you can watch them from episode to episode. And then you'll see how I'm going to do certain aspects of my models. So like I said, first I'm gonna do these clowns, the hollow soldier, and I'll do the crossbowman. Oh, FYI, 3 Silver Knights have already been painted, so I'll use them as an example how to paint these. Let's see, did I get everything? If not, you can always adjust with a brush. Great, great, great. Nice. Same goes with Schmark. If you got it 100% accurate, lucky for you. If not, well, too bad. There's a little bit more. I'll just use a brush for the next time. First, I'm gonna let them dry up. Yeah. All right. Well, you may not be able to see them, but it's about the idea that they're completely black. And then I'll see you in the next video. Let's see, is the camera? Okay, so this is the second part. As you can see, we're now in my attic. And the next step what we're going to do is painting these hollow soldiers. I have them all here on the paint station. I also have the other Silver Knights that I mentioned. These two are already black, and this one is already painted. Yeah, I mean, it's a Silver Knight, so what did you expect? But those are for another time. I have Ornstein, Smog, the Asylum Demon, and the 3 Silver Knight Great Bow. I have them on the table on right there. But we'll continue on that later. First, I'm going to do these. Now, the first step that I'm going to do is... now, is the internet still being crap? Ah, fuck off. Alright. Yeah, like I said, first I'm going to do these 6. And I'm going to start with the skin. Since they are undead, I'll try to find something similar to rotting flesh, or at least a color that resents not such a bright color. No, that's bleach bone. Kislev flesh. No. Be sure to get something that's that doesn't look really alive, or else you might be able to shade it and make it really rot. I have a special one for that. Let's see, where are you? No, Screaming Skull. No, no, no. Oh, Redskin flesh. Let's see what this is. Base. No. This may take a while though. But I'll be sure to but I'll let you know if you can skip it for us. There we go, the music. Oh, this one wasn't really good closed. Ooh. Now, where is that? I remember we have a little bit left. Then we just use Talon flesh. That will do. Most colors I use is from Citadel, from Games Workshop, or from Andrea color. And the other ones, only my father used them. Ah, crap, internet above here. If you hear music, then internet is working. If you don't hear it, then internet is just like this. Right. I'm gonna start with the soldiers, not the crossbowmen. Make sure that you take all the skin. If you touch parts of the clothes, don't worry. You can adjust that later. I fucking hate my internet on the attic. Up here, it's total crap if you want to play music. Now it's starting again, but I'm sure in a minute or two it will come to an end again. See, what did I say? And now it's starting again. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't listen to this bull crap. Alright. Now that I've done his right arm, if it will just adjust a little bit with the camera, yeah, there we go. You can see that I have done most of the arm. Some places of the sleeve have been hit, right there. Oh, stupid camera. Come on, adjust. No, oh, fuck. All right. There we go. as you can see, I've painted most of his right arm. Some pieces of the hilt have been touched, but we can adjust that later. Now I'm going to put you on pause and I'm going to finish these all, the other two, and then I will show you the result later on. Yeah, for me it's later on, but for you it will just be a jiffy. Right, so here we're back again. I finished with the first part of the skin, and now comes the hard part, because it will take several hours for it to dry completely before we can adjust the final part to the skin. If you are watching this, let's see if it can just adjust to, yeah, there we go. As you can see, it's I have painted most parts of the pants with the color of the skin. Why? Because it had so many holes in his pants that it was unable to avoid that. But we can adjust that, and in the final part, once we've wrapped this up, you can see the difference. I've done both his arms with the shield and the sword, and around his face and in the neck. If you can see... hang on, I have to adjust it again. Come on, there we go. I've done that with all three of them. Now we come to the, come on, there we go. Now we come to the second part. And that is because they are undead. We're not going to use a standard shade that you use for the living being. Normally I would advise using a Reichland flesh shade or another flesh shade, like elf shade or dwarf shade. Anything that is for that particular kind of creature or being. But since this is an undead one, I advise you use from Citadel the shade Agrex Earth Shade. I also use it to make sure that the bones are not nearly as visible. Now, don't be shy with this color. You can just mop it on it. I'll have to advise that you use a different brush, because else you might get a mix-up of little bits of pieces that are left here. Use another one. That will do. Right. Now, like I said, don't be shy with the amount. They're undead, so they don't go for the good looking side. Oh, FYI, Agrex Earth Shade stinks. It really stinks. So it does add up to the model that you're going to paint. If you paint the hollows, that is. I also use Agrex Earth Shade on the other models from this game. Even the Silver Knights, I use it on their clothes. Because, well, it is a dark game. So I figured that it could be something to make it a little bit more, yeah, well, dark. Alright, now, if you can see, come on, adjust you fucker. There we go. Okay, it's wet now, but I'm gonna make sure that you can see it properly. Oh, for fuck's sake. Adjust, there we go. As you can see, his skin is a little bit darker now. Now I'm gonna do the same thing to his face, the other arm, and then to his legs. Like I said, don't be shy with the amount. I mean, the undead, they're not there for a beauty contest. Make sure you fill the mouth, the nose, what's left of it, and his eye sockets with enough of this garbage. Alright.
FYI, if you have it here on the paint station, some of that Agrex Earthshade, it dries up fast, so you have to get new one as soon as you notice that you don't. Yeah, well, that's with every paint, but this one dries up faster than what I'm used to. Alright, it seems that I finished the right arm and the head. The other ones didn't get to it, so pick new one. Continue the misery. Add a little bit more to the face. I mean, they're undead, so they can really look like they're hollow. Like in the game, everything is dark. Everything. Except for the armor of the Silver Knights and from Ornstein and Schmuck. Let's see, I just... Ah, okay, that's just a message from a friend. The music, it's... forget about it. We really need another Wi-Fi on this floor. An enhancer. Right. Oh, FYI, for the ones who follow me with my video games, I made the list. It's in the final episode of Soma. If you go check it out, you can check out the list and pick one of your choice. Like last time, I'm gonna play the game that you choose for me, but only the games that I have. I'm not gonna buy new games for all of you. That's not what I'm gonna do. If I have a game, then those are the games that I'm gonna play. If I buy a new game, like I did last time with The Witcher, then it's of my own choosing. Make sure you fill the parts in his pants, especially with the holes in his pants. And later on in this video, I'm gonna show you how to fix that, but I'll probably resume this video again tomorrow. Yeah, for me that is tomorrow. For you it will just be a few minutes or seconds. Alright. Like I said, don't be shy with the Agrex Earthshade. They are undead, so they don't really care. Alright. Now, check this out. You see? This is how it looked like, and this is how it looks like now. You see the difference? I sure do that. I sure know that I see the difference. Oh, that sword is a little bit curved. Ah, too bad. Ah. There goes the music again. And then it ended. Oh, fuck off. For fuck's sake. Never mind that. Alright. So now I'm gonna do the other two with the same Agrex Earthshade. And then after that I'm gonna show you how it looks like. And then I'm gonna continue with another part, but not with the skin. You let the skin dry up a little bit, because Agrex Earthshade can be removed quite easily if you move too quickly on the skin part. Right. So yeah, well, again, for you it will be seconds. For me it will take some time, of course. But see you again soon. Welcome back. I tried to play the music again, and up till now it's still working, but anything can change. I've completed the first two parts of the skin. I have to adjust again. No, that's not what I asked, you cunt. There we go. So this is how it looks like for now. Of course, as you can see, the helmet and the pants and the... Oh, other way. The shield on the inside and the hilt of the sword are a little bit touched with the first layer. We're gonna adjust that at the final part. For now, I'm gonna start with the metal. Since they are walking corpses, I'm gonna make sure that then I'm gonna make it rusty. First of all, use a metal of any kind. I really don't care which one. I use Citadel base iron hand steel. For the Silver Knights, as a second layer, I use Stormhost silver, but that we come to that later. Take iron hand steel or bolt gun metal or anything that's that shows steel or iron. Oh, shake it. Huh? Oh, new brush. Oh yeah, my dad bought new brushes. Right. Now, just take the same one. That doesn't really matter. I'm gonna start with the shield. It's a buckler, so you can just make it entirely metal. Don't use dry brush on this one, it's not really necessary. Dry brush is to get the shade effect more easier, but I don't use it on this one. This is just very plain simple shield. Right, now comes the tricky part. Since the inside of this shield is attached to his arm, we have to be very careful not to touch the arm with the metal. And I'm gonna show that to you right now. First we need to adjust the camera a little bit. Yeah. Alright. This I'm gonna show you from close up, if the camera will work a little bit with me. No. There we go. All right. Not sure if you can see it, but here we go. I'm shaking all over the place. If you can see, fucking hand. Relax. I'm just using my pinky to get a little bit more stability. And as you can see, I haven't touched the skin with the metal. Now I'm gonna look a little bit further. Alright. To be honest, I should actually use Dark Souls music. Oh, hang on a second, we can fix that. And since I'm not painting a particular model like Ornstein or Vault of the Boreal Valley, I'm just gonna put on the menu theme. Alright, so the shield is nearly done, as you can see, for now, because the rust has to be added later. Alright, so the shield is now done with the metal. Now I'm gonna look for the helmet. The helmet Very similar. Just add it fully. Make sure not to touch the face. Hang on, I'm gonna skip a little bit. Make sure not to touch the face. Anything else may be touched. Like the scarf in his neck. But the other parts, try to remain off his face. I was just checking if the camera was working, if the camera was recording, because if not, then I had to do it all over again in some way. All right. Gotta take a little bit more. Alright, so now I've done the helmet. If he wants to adjust, there we go. It all looks nice and proper for now, but the rust will be added. Trust me. Right, now to take the blade. Ah, Hector's death. Troy. One of my favorite duels from any movie. So, why did they call you Achilles? Oh, because my mother, she helped me into the river Styx up my Achilles, and that is my only vulnerable place. So what about you, Testicles? What's your vulnerable place? Don't talk about it! Testicles. I have that from Family Guy. To be honest, I never really thought about it until they came up with it. Alright, now I've done the blade. The hilt and the crossguard, I leave that for now. The hilt and the crossguard you can turn into any color you wish. It's not necessarily you have to give them a color, you can also leave them black, if that's your choice. Right, now for the next part, take a dry brush. I'm gonna explain why. Try to take one that is a little bit stay together, not like these ones. They are a little bit out of date. But this one can be easier to use for now. Alright, I've heard it. There we go. Right. So now I need to adjust the camera a little bit again. Just take the dry brush and do this. Don't take that much. Anything that is on this brush, rub it either over your hand or over a tissue. Doesn't really matter. Now you're gonna look for chainmail all over his armor. Any chainmail that you find, use the dry brush on it. even if you can't really touch the chainmail, try to rub the dry brush all over it. Any clothes you touch, we can fix that later.
Alright, so now I have dry brushed on the chainmail part. As you can see, I touched a few clothes and the belt, but
For later on, we can adjust that. Now, yeah, of course, always wash the brush. Make it nice and clean. There we go. Alright, take a normal brush again. Take some of the metal color and take the breastplate. The Rock, one of my favorite movies. Make sure that you don't touch the chainmail with the full metal, because it might disrupt the shade effect that you did with the dry brush. Like I said about the skin, we'll adjust that in the next video. This one is for now. For now, I'm gonna do step 1. And about the skin, I advise you to leave that for the next day. Or another day, depends on when you want to continue working on it. If my whistling is annoying you, feel free to turn down the sound. Right, so now I've done his chest plate, as you can see. Alright, now comes the tricky part. You need to know just how much rust you want to add to certain areas. Luckily, I have this color. Citadel, dry, riser rust. Again, take the dry brush. This one, or any one actually will do. Just make sure you don't disrupt the skin. Right, now I'm gonna try this out on the sword first. Iron foot. Where did I? Ah, there we go. These guys are hollow, so they don't really sharpen the blades. So try not to be too gentle with the rust color. If you can see the rust, then it's enough. Are you able to see it a little bit? Here's how the sword used to look, quite color, and this is how it looks like with rust on it. Can you see it a little bit? A little bit darker, and in reality it looks a little bit orange. Okay, if that didn't convince you, I'm gonna try it on the shield. Maybe that will convince you. Right, this is how the shield looks now. Hang on. Now look, do you see it? Can you see the rust? It's all over the shield. Alright. If you can't see it, comment down in the section below and I'll make sure to send some photos on my Instagram. That'll be sure to convince you that I placed some rust all over it. Alright, now on the back side of the shield. This is gonna be tricky, for you shouldn't touch the skin. And since the front is mostly used than the other side, I suggest you use less rust on the inside. Alright, so the shield now is fully rusted. Can you see it? Alright, take a little bit more rust. Now start with the helmet. Make sure you don't touch the skin. Any other parts, not a problem. Alright, as you can see, the helmet is rusty. Now I'm gonna start with the breastplate. Don't be gentle on the breastplate, because the breastplate takes quite some time. And the breastplate is fully metal, so like I said, they're undead, they're not here for a walk show. It seems I have to hurry up with this recording. Make sure you touch the chainmail immediately, so that one is finished too. Alright, as you can see, the rust is all over his armor. With enemies like Unseen, Schmorg or the Silver Knights, I wouldn't advise adding rust. But to these undead critters, I would advise it. A little bit more. Alright. So, that is all for today's video. I'm gonna adjust this rust to the other two, and the steel of course, and for the next video I'm gonna show you how I'm going to finish the skin. But for now, I want to bid you all a great time.